Okay, this is just a little quick video for those who are seeing Vend either for the first time or it looks different from what you're used to. So instead of having the two layers one behind each other with a little tab, you've actually got them now as buttons to push on. So in the single items, they're all our single items obviously, and that's a special single firework that you can sell at a price you make up. And here are our pack items. So let's just go, someone says, hey, can I have a Lights in New Zealand? And I'll go to that little special Sparky deal you've got, 3 for 10, excellent. And they're going to pay. They've got cash, 60 bucks, cool, awesome, done, transaction. By the way, just so you know, in the background, if they do get any of our specials, we've done it so that when they get a special, those items that you've got in your stock will be allocated already. So if they were to buy, for example, just one little Sparky, then that would be one item. But if they were to buy the little Sparky special, then 3 items out of your stock inventory would move because we've done that in the background. Excellent. Okay, so let's just go through one of these again where I go, I want that. It comes to 130, I want to pay for it. I'm going to pay my credit card. Pretty simple, done. Okay, so that's how you make a transaction or a sale. Now, a good way, we talked about bundling, because let's say we've got no more Sky Nights or Extreme, and they go, hey, I've got $100 and I don't want a Lights New Zealand by itself. What can you do for me? So what you can do, there's 2 ways. You can actually go Lights in New Zealand, one of those, little Sparky special, and you see we got 135. And then you can play around a little bit here. You can go, you know what, I'm going to give you those for free to get us down, and I'm going to move this down to 50 bucks. There you go, $100. And what you've done is you've managed to get a sale, whereas before they were going to walk away because you weren't going to sell them anything. But now they can see a bit of value added for them. Pay via cash, $100, awesome stuff. Okay, does that make sense? The other way to do that, of course, I'll press done, is to go into here and just press special pack price, put in $100, press pay, same process, it's cash, $100. But the benefit of doing it the first way method I showed you was that those inventory items will move from your stock. If you just use this special pack price, there is no inventory behind that. Just food for thought. So that's how you do transactions, both in single items or in pack items. Now what I do is over here, I'm going to go through, if someone said, hey look, I want to give that back. So let's go to sales, they want to return some stuff. In sales history, you can look at all the sales that have happened, lay-by or whatever, by a customer, or we want to return some. So there's 2 ways to check that return. You can either run down here and look at the price, or you can look into the receipt number of what that person did. They sold you those items. So a classic one is, let's go to this one here, which looks like receipt number 12. So if I put in here, just they gave you a receipt, 12, search. Oh, that's the one that's going to come up. And it looks like I've been playing around with this earlier. In fact, let's just try 13 maybe. Maybe that's a better one to try as a practice. Okay, let's just try this one. So I'm going to click on this, and what's going to happen is they say, hey, you know what, I actually don't want that giant panda pack because I've got some sparklers here, can I return that? So you click this return items. This is if you're going to make them a customer, you're not, so skip it. And they're going to return this. So basically what happens here, you'll see it if I'll click on this. That means that they're going to, so what you're going to do is you're going to get to keep all the items. The ones they're going to keep are going to be 0. But the one they're going to return, you're going to give the price to. So just to clarify that again, where there's a 0, that means that they're keeping it. Where there is a negative number, that's the item they're returning. And you'll see there's $25 that they want back. The item was $25. If you please return, how are we going to give that back? Best by cash, so that we owe them $25. Boom, give them $25. Refund $25. Pretty simple? Excellent. Last thing I want to show you is how to close off a register. And why would you do that? So here we go. We go for closing a register. So I've just open or close. And the purpose of this is basically you want to do this at the end of the day, because what it means is you've got a starting and a finishing point for each of your transactions. So you count up your cash, and it should match all the transactions you've gone through here, so 856. You count up all your credit card transactions that you run off your FPOS terminal, and it was 275, and you'd go, great, That's what we've done with closing the register. So now that register's closed, and you can print that off as kind of a summary or a record of the transactions that you did on that day. When you start the next day, of course, you won't be able to do anything until you open the register, you click it, boom, it stamps the time and date in which it opens, and then you've got a starting point now, and before you had a finishing point. So that's closing and opening the register. Pretty simple, pretty easy. You can put clients in it if you like, but in a nutshell, that's pretty much the things that you want to worry about. So that is the new Vend, what it looks like, how to sell through it, how to do refunds through it, through the sales history, and also how to open and close the register.